Today's podcast is a short one. I'm pretty sure it's under 10 minutes, and let's consider it George's loving kick in the shins to himself with a powerful question that changed everything for me. Save this one, come back and listen to this one, and you might want to listen to this one 10 times. But without further ado, let's get into the episode. All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Mind of George show. And what are we going to call today? We're going to call today George kicking himself in the shins. But in actuality, I have a short one, I have a sweet one, and I have some very, very powerful reminders for you. Now, for context, I've been on the road for the last 6 weeks. I've been keynoting, speaking, helping, and I've been in rooms everywhere from people doing 5 figures a year all the way up to 8 and 9 figures. And this one thing has been resounding true. And I've been asked how I do it. And so I'm just going to cut through the noise straight here and give you something to listen to. Now, I want you to save this episode. I want you to save it on your phone. I want you to link it somewhere. I want you to put it somewhere. And I want you to come back to it any single time. And I mean any single time you feel like you're unhappy. You feel like the world is on your shoulders. You feel like you can't handle the weight. The emotions are going to run through you. That the only thing that will solve it is money. The only thing that will solve it is more customers. Like whatever that is for you, if this lands for you, I want you to come back and I want you to take a listen and I want you to get back to work. We talk a lot about consistency on this podcast, and I give you the tools to be consistent. I give you the tools. I give you the light keeper quadrants. I tell you that you have to embody your practices. You have to be here first. Your physiology affects your psychology. You have to take care of your body. You have to do the work. But let's be honest, no matter how many tools we have in our toolbox, all of us, myself included, forget that when I have to hammer a nail, I have a hammer below me because I'm afraid to use it, or I don't remember how, or the emotions are overrunning. And it feels like I can't do anything. But at the end of the day, I have to. And I say have to on purpose. I get to. But one of those things in one of those moments, like I have to. Like my family depends on me. The world depends on me. I depend on me. And if I am not moving forward, I am moving backwards and dying. And that is stagnation. And so I want to ask you a question right now. I just want to ask you a question. If I offered you $10 million right now in this moment, would you take it? Right? Would you take it? If I said, hey, free and clear, I'm going to give you $10 million. Would you take it? Most likely, right? And what would you say? Yes, or thank you, or I can't wait, or oh my God, that would be incredible. And you'd be really, really excited. And I'd be like, okay, but there's a catch. I give you the $10 million and you can't wake up ever again tomorrow. Would you still take it? No. You wouldn't. I wouldn't. You wouldn't. And nobody I know would. And that's the point. So what you're telling me by not taking it, that waking up tomorrow is worth more than $10 million. And so at that point, everything's a choice. But you should choose and plan to wake up every single day with a smile on your face because you are worth more than that. And you should wake up with a smile and say, I am worth $1 million. Because it feels so real and so easy when a carrot is dangled in front of us, when it feels like that's the answer, that's the solution. But deep down, we have this knowing. And we know we never wanted it in the first place. But something was scaring us, convinced us that that was the easy way, that that was the way. And when was the last time you ever celebrated anything, you ever were proud of something that came easy? It wasn't. Being an entrepreneur, being a human being in the state of the world that we live in is a hard world, but that's the work that's required. That's who we are. That's what we do. We lead by example. And the truth is if you want $10 million deposited in your account, the easy way is to wake up irregardless of how you feel, understanding that you made a commitment to something greater. A commitment to something greater for you, for yourself, for your mindset, for your body, for your business, for your family, for your team, for your customers. And nobody can build that for you. Nobody come and put it in place for you. And you are the only one. But the secret to making it work is irregardless of how you feel, irregardless of the circumstances, coming back home to you, coming back home to the tools to remember who you are, to find the confidence in the moment to take that next step, because you are worth more than $10 million deposited in your account. And the moment you wake up and smile, and the moment you put your foot forward based on the future, and the moment you're excited about it, irregardless of how you feel, and you tell yourself that you're worth it, and you tell yourself that you're worth $1 million, everything else magically shows up. But it can't show up if your radio dial is tuned into the wrong frequency. It cannot show up if you don't have gratitude for what you have. It cannot show up if you're not willing to put one foot in front of the other and realize that that is the path through. That's the path through the fear. That's the path through the emotions. And the only way to eradicate it is to build something new. Mark Manson did a documentary on his book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And this is how I'm going to end today's episode so you can take this with you and you can carry this forward. And he said, happiness does not come from getting rid of your problems. Happiness comes from solving your problems. And the piece that I can add is that the only person who can solve your problems is you. And know that you are the answer. You are the secret. It doesn't mean you have them all, but when you find them, you're the one who has to put in the work. You're the one that has to put them into practice. And you're the one who has to keep pushing forward every single day. And it doesn't matter where you are in business or where you are in life. It doesn't matter your situation because we're all the same. I am going through this right now. Rebuilding the business, throwing out all of our offers, changing what it was because it felt out of alignment, and sitting with the fear of not knowing, but trusting. Trusting that if I put people first, if I put my heart first, if I put my feelings to the side and acknowledge them, give them a cup of coffee and show up anyways, no matter how scared I am, no matter how petrified I was to stand on stage and cry and tell people how hard it's been, no matter how hard it was to open up to one of the people that I respect the most and share stories that made me feel so much shame, but on the other side were eradicated because I was witnessed. It doesn't matter. It happens everywhere. But we are the only ones. You are the only one who can make a difference. And if there are things that are not working, if there are things that you do not like, if there are things that are not working for you, it's only up to you to change them. It's only up to you to make it different. And you have to choose it. And so if you want to wake up tomorrow, the next day, and for another 50, 60, 70 years, you have to choose to wake up, irregardless of the pressure, irregardless of the noise, and choose to have a smile, to know that you're worth $1 million, and to find that next bite to put it into practice. Because that is genuinely and truly the only way to create happiness, and no one can do it but you. And I will make you one promise. If you do it, and when you do it, it doesn't mean you do it alone. I will be there. My team will be there. Our community will be there walking next to you as we are fighting our own battles, as we are trudging through our own journey. But we can look to our left and look to our right, and we can see that we're not alone. We can see that we're witnessed. We can see that we're supported, and we can see that we're leading and following others by doing the work, but only you can do it. And so today is your invitation to get back. Take this as your loving kick in the shins, because this is the one that I've been giving myself for the last 8 weeks, and it's working. Get to work, get in your heart, get in your body, get in your practices, and remember that you are a product of your practices. You have the tools. Now it's time to put the workout on paper and do it consistently and congruently until it works. So have a beautiful day. I love you. Remember that relationships will always beat algorithms, but this one, the one with you, is the most important one.